ist kalt. Was machst du?
Ist das der Saft?
Was Saft?
Saft?
Weiß ich nicht.
Weißt du nicht.
Datenschutz? Datenschutz? Kennst du?
I don't want to please anybody with my scents, but myself. I like my old school, strange and artistic fragrances. I do make fun of mass appealing scents, but usually I just ignore them. They are not for me. But whenever I do try one, I always judge it impartially, just like I did with this one. Office for Men by Fragrance One, which is the first perfume of Jeremy Fragrance, the most successful fragrance presenter on YouTube.
Adam, you do know that Jeremy's approach to fragrances is very different from yours, right? This scent was born to be casual and to gather the positive feedbacks. So why did you buy this bottle?
I hear you ask. Promises were made, my friends. Let me cite a few of his older and more recent statements. No chance on disappointment for this one. This is the best fragrance on the market. Immediately, you will recognize this is an army of fragrance notes. It has an unbelievable punch of depth. No budget limitations for Firmenich for the oils when they made this one. People here from the industry also said it's not your $60 mainstream fragrance. I know that I have to please also the fragrance enthusiasts, which means to please me as well. You will notice it does have a bit of a niche twist. To me, it's a fantastic balance between mass appealing and the touch of that niche factor. Sounds good to me. But unfortunately, there were already two concerning signs before the release, suggesting that some of these statements might not be completely true. The first bad sign: Alberto Morillas, the master perfumer of the Swiss fragrance and flavor giant PERFUME. I highly respect Mr Morillas. If I could choose to meet any perfumers, he would be one of my first picks. He's a legend who created countless bestsellers, and he's one of the perfumers behind CK1, the legendary CK1, which was my most used scent in the high school. But he's not the Michael Jackson of the fragrance industry. He signed 31 scents just in 2018 alone. Just a few years ago, this number was around 10. So his productivity nowadays is more about quantity over quality. He makes a lot of average perfumes. That's not completely his fault though. That's also the fault of the current state of the industry. He makes what he has to, what the project brief says. But still, over 30 creations in a year, way too many, even with his experience. So, no chance on disappointment, more like 50% chance. The second bad sign was the note pyramid. Office for Men contains ambroxan, intense modern woods, paradisone, cachalox, iris, etc., etc. These are among the most popular ingredients in our day. So it's really hard to stand out from the crowd with these chemicals.
Adam, you saw those big signs, so why did you buy this bottle?
I hear you ask. Because Jeremy is not stupid. He is German, he has the German efficiency and perfectionism flowing in his veins. These are not my thought, he mentioned these. And PERFUME and their master perfumer, Mr Morillas, aren't stupid either. Although this is not the first perfume released by a YouTuber, it is the first perfume released by a big YouTuber with professional help.
If we could put something unique on top of the generic mass-appealing base, if we could make the scent stand out, it would have a potential to land in the fragrance history book.
So one could safely assume that they all went the extra mile to make this pilot project a great success, and not just financially. And there was no budget limitation, allegedly. This fact alone is very promising. It makes the whole project fail-safe, because if you have a good perfumer and access to very high-quality ingredients, the perfume will probably stand out even without the promised unique twist. The big price tag on Office for Men is a sign that it excels, at least in this regard. So how is Office for Men? It is disappointing. Is it a pleasant everyday smell that can please the masses? Yes. Is it strong and long-lasting? Yes. It's exceptional in this respect, though I'm not sure if this strength is really appropriate in an office environment. But overall, it's extremely bland, and also synthetic, though not disgustingly synthetic. The more you smell it, the more bland it gets, because your nose will quickly learn and get bored of the simple structure of it. The army of fragrance notes are nowhere to be seen. It doesn't have the unbelievable punch of depth. It's actually quite shallow. The three main things you can smell in this perfume are the modern woody ambery base. By the way, the word ambery here means grey amber, aka ambergris-like. An overdose of the multifaceted paradisone chemical in the heart, and the bergamot note on the top. The slightly peppery bergamot note fades quickly after the application, leaving just a big, smooth, fruity and woody smell behind that doesn't really change as it dries down. In this stage, Office for Men smells like an unfinished perfume, almost like a big accord or base waiting for a perfumer to decorate it. Thankfully, the woody ambery accord is carefully dosed. It doesn't stick out that much, but on the other hand, the paradisone molecule is clearly overdosed. It dominates the whole smell. Now, what is it actually? It's basically hedione on steroids, or rather an isolated part of that very popular molecule. Hedione has a synthetic, transparent, watery jasmine smell, and it helps to increase the diffusion of a perfume while making it a bit more long-lasting at the same time. That one isolated part of hedione is the one that's responsible for these effects, and it's surprisingly complex. It smells like the paradise, hence the name paradisone. It smells like a bunch of faint watery flowers, like jasmine, neroli, osmanthus, but also a bit like bergamot and bitter orange. So you could think that Office for Men is a woody floral perfume. Then why did I say fruity? Because the one facet of paradisone that dominates this scent is its osmanthus quality. And if you don't know, osmanthus has a watery, peachy smell. Therefore, a young woman could wear this fragrance too. Dry, woody, ambery base, well blended with strong, peachy, osmanthus dominant, but also slightly neroli and jasmine-like paradisone, with a few minutes of bergamot in the opening. This is Office for Men in a nutshell. Where is the niche twist? With what exactly does this creation want to please the fragrance enthusiasts? I'm not even sure if it can please the less insane perfume wearers in the long run. They did use very good ingredients, you can smell that clearly. Office for Men doesn't smell like your $60 mainstream fragrance. No, it smells like your $80 mainstream one. Nice molecules alone won't make a perfume stand out quality-wise. Alberto? So where does the price tag come from? $160/euros. You can buy a way better scent from that money, or just simply a better one that can be used in the same situations and costs half the price of Office for Men. So what went wrong? What's to blame? Jeremy's nose? Or the indolence, the lack of motivation from Firmen's side? Or is this exactly what Jeremy wanted? Did he really think that this fragrance can fulfill his promises? All the talk about the niche twist, the incredible depth, or in general Office for Men being the best fragrance on the market? I know that your own homemade food always tastes good. It's hard to judge it objectively if you're not a professional cook, but boy, you must think first, before you move. Office for Men is a plain scent of me.